The court of public opinion is divided when it comes to stem cell banking. Now, many believe that stem cells could be a game changer in medicine, or they could treat many incurable diseases in future. Research is ongoing and results do look promising, but many are still skeptical about all of this. Plus, there is a lot of hype about what stem cells can do for you. So, as a to-be parent, you ask yourself, do I need to cryostore my baby's stem cells? How do I do it? And more importantly, kitna paisa lagega? Well, watch this video to find out. I'm going to separate the hype from the proven benefits of stem cells. Plus, we will talk about how stem cell banking works and how much it all costs and whether you should go for it or not. So, let's jump right in. Now, in order to understand the stem cells, first understand that there are different types of cells in our body and each type does a specific task in a particular organ. Like for example, the red blood cells, they will carry oxygen through the blood and the white blood cells will be there for fighting infections and so on. But stem cells, they are special. Now, they have the ability to grow, to multiply into multiple copies of themselves, and they can also form any other type of cell or tissue. Now, just to give you one example, in case of blood cancer, by stimulating these stem cells, we can form new cells in the blood and just replace the damaged ones. So, stem cells themselves hold a lot of promise. And these cells are found in plenty in the umbilical cord blood and tissue. So, when we talk about the umbilical cord stem cells, what we mean is when your baby is born, the cord that connects the mother and the baby, this is the umbilical cord. And this is normally cut off and just discarded. And a part of this cord, if you store a part of this cord in the deep freezer, you can make use of the cells for future purposes. Now, there are many companies which store these stem cells in special freezers and they charge a fee for that. Well, not really. I mean, it's complicated, mainly because the research is ongoing. As of today, these stem cells have been used in very few conditions, mainly in the blood-related diseases only. The other uses are still being tested and they are undergoing trials. Now, these are some of the researches that are ongoing. So, we'll just have to wait, I think, and see how that all goes. But I feel the pace at which medical research is progressing, we definitely can expect a much wider use for stem cells in near future. Yes, I would recommend to bank stem cells. There are obvious benefits of stem cell research showing positive results in animal-based studies. And it won't be long before these things become commonplace. Let's take an example of, say, test tube babies or IVF. Now, this was done only in animals till the 80s or 90s even. And today, after 20 to 25 years, it's done everywhere in India. In developed countries, there are social stem cell banks or public cell banks, and these are regulated by the government. So, if your child does require any transplant, then you can just take the stem cells from the government bank and you'll not have to go looking for donors. Now, in India, we don't have anything on that scale. So, the only way is through these private companies. Now, once we register with a private company, we get access to their entire bank. Meaning, after a few years, if our stored cells are not viable or they are not in a good condition to be used, then you get access to the entire bank of cells and we can take another closely matched sample from that private company bank. This is something very important, I feel. Cord blood and cord tissue contain different type of stem cells. So you can and you should store both. Now, cord blood has higher amount of blood forming stem cells and the cord tissue has mesenchymal stem cells. And mesenchymal stem cells can multiply and form skin, bones, nerves, many different tissues. And many trials are showing very promising results with the cord tissue forming new skin in burn injuries, then cartilage and sports injuries, and also treatment of many advanced conditions like autism, paralysis, diabetes, eczema. Now, if you find all of this too complicated, then just remember this: store both the blood and the tissue from umbilical cord. There are many companies which provide this service in India, and to be honest, I couldn't find any company that stood out. They are more or less the same, and the pricing is also similar everywhere. Now, these are some of the options that are available to you in India. So when I had to choose a storage bank, these were a few things that I looked at, like how old is the company, or how big is it, or does it operate in your city? Then where is the storage facility? Is it in India or is it outside? Now, a couple of these are even multinational companies, like the company called Cord Life. Now, they are based in Singapore, and for storing, that is freezing your stem cells, you have the option of Calcutta or Singapore. And the option of storing in Singapore is obviously a little bit expensive. Next is, what facility are they providing? Like, are they storing just the cord blood or blood and tissue both? It is important to store both the tissue and the blood. But just know that the charges will be separate for storing just the blood and for storing both blood and tissue. Now, about charges, I chose Cord Life and I paid around 60,000 rupees for 21 years and got another 55 years as a free extension. Oh, and one more thing I would like to mention here. Now, this expense will not be covered by any health insurance, so this is completely out of your pocket. Basically, all companies store the stem cells for about 20 years or thereabouts. At the moment, the cells can survive only that long, but after that, you get continued access to their stem cell bank. So even if the stem cells that are stored by you are not active anymore, you can take somebody else's cells which closely match your own from the private bank. Plus, Cord Life provided medical coverage for the procedures involving these stem cells, and all of that was included in the 60,000 that I had paid. I registered with them by filling up a form online, and I provided my basic information and just the expected date of delivery. Now, I did this well before my delivery, I think around the 7th month or so. Then they sent me the collection kit, and they had some ice packs which had to be kept in the freezer section of the refrigerator till the delivery. And on the day of the delivery, you have to take this entire kit with you in the hospital bag. Now, on your delivery day, I just had to call the nurse from Cord Life, and she came to my hospital and waited the entire day till I actually got delivered. And after the baby was born and just before cutting the umbilical cord, the doctor drew the cord blood and some tissue and put it in the collection kit that was provided by the company. Now, this entire process took just a few minutes and was completely safe and painless for me as well and the baby. Now, in case if the company nurse is not available on your delivery day, just make sure that your doctor is aware that you want to bank both the cord blood and the tissue. The company conducted some basic tests on the sample to see if it's not contaminated and it is disease free. Then it was put in their cold storage. And in a couple of weeks, I got a certification that it was stored at their facility. And that's it. It's completely hassle-free. Okay, so before I let you go, just a word to the wise. Make up your mind about stem cell banking well before the actual delivery day, and give yourself enough time to coordinate with the company, because you must have the kit ready with you before the delivery. That's it for today. Do write in the comment section below if you have something to share, because I would love to hear from you too. Until next time, Namaste.